Welcome back to Corporate Time. We've got a weird job.
We do, and I'm gonna power through with another because I haven't prepared a weird job song. I do have a new weird job that I'm working on.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's to the tune of my daughter's favorite song, which is highly inappropriate, and it's the song $1 Million Baby by, I bet your boys know this song. I know Max knows this song. And $1 Million Baby. It's very inappropriate.
Does it have anything to do with Skibbity Toilet? That's the only thing they know.
No. It's
Okay.
more. I think it's more about drugs and hoes.
Okay.
So, but it is currently Maisie's favorite song, and she knows some sort of TikTok dance from it that is highly inappropriate. A lot of boofing. So in order to tamp that down, we're going with an 80s themed AI song. Now, this one I'm very impressed with because for those of you that are music aficionados, you're going to pick up exactly what it was doing here. I asked for it to give me a weird job song in a Huey Lewis style, and you're going to hear the music is very Huey. All right, so here we go. Brand new weird job song. Hear it? Gotta go back in time, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
Weird Job Wednesday, it's a thing that we do. Tom's got a list and it's calling for
That part's not Huey.
Dan thinks it's funny. Tom says it's wild. Just another Wednesday with quirky style. Weird Job Wednesday, yeah, it's here to stay. Just another weird job making our day. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday, loud and proud, bringing all the odd jobs out to the crowd.
That one's pretty bad, though, right? It's corny, though. It's so corny.
It's like a sitcom.
It is a little sitcom-y. It had me with, like, the Huey Lewis, like, beginning. But then the guy that came in to sing was a huge dork. Anyway, on the line with us for Weird Job, and this is a special one because this guy had to, like, interrupt his day to do this. On the line with us is Michael. What's going on, Michael?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Thanks for the time, and thanks for being on Weird Job.
No problem.
So, Michael, what's your weird job?
Well, my brother contacted me about what you guys do with this, and I said it wasn't really weird, but it is kind of odd, I guess. I run a business called Shay's Boat Repair. My name's Mike Shay, and I'm a mobile boat. I fix fiberglass and gel coat on boats all around Florida.
Well, he knew I liked that.
Yeah.
Because I have a boat with lots of scratches.
Yeah, oh, man. Tom was just talking to me about how his boat, the bottom of it looks like, somebody's dragging it down I-4.
Is it down to the fiberglass, or is it just the gel coat?
Oh, well, it's whatever all those strings are on.
Don't say that to him.
Yeah, it's a bunch of strings.
Why would you do that?
Like hanging out all out the bottom. I guess, once you get under the hard stuff, it's a bunch of strings.
Yeah. Just like a golf ball.
Well, it doesn't matter what it is. It can always be fixed.
Really? So, okay, I guess first question is, how does one, like obviously you've been I'm going to guess you've been a boatman for most of your life, been on the water, or no?
No, I worked in the factories for a long time, and I live in Edgewater, Florida, and in Edgewater you have four boat manufacturers. The main one is Boston Whaler.
Oh, yeah.
Everglades, Edgewater Powerboats, and Solace Boats. They're all in one small town.
Wow.
It's we're a little south of Daytona, south of New Smyrna.
That's pretty amazing.
So, Michael,
Reminds me of the old furniture towns from the Carolinas and Virginia, where
Yeah,
you'd have all the competitors within like 1 square mile of each other. Like all their factories set up. Do they all hate each other, or are they cool?
No, it's kind of funny. I started in 2007 at Everglades, and I know a lot of people that worked at all of them. They just kind of hop around.
Sure.
I only worked at 2 of them. I was at Whaler for most of the time. I was there from 2012 till last year. I just started my business. I kind of was just wanted to get out of the rat race,
Yeah.
and go off on my own. And I started doing side jobs on the weekend to make a little extra money, and it just kind of turned into a business. I've been on my own for a little over a year now.
Wow.
So let's talk about, because boats are unique in the fact that I feel like they stick around longer than any other vehicle. And follow me with this. Like, you get a boat, like my boat the hull is 2006, right?
Well, how do you throw them out?
Yeah.
You can't throw them out.
Well, sometimes.
Thank God we've got monster trucks for RVs. If we didn't have monster trucks, do you know how many RVs would be laying everywhere if we didn't have monster trucks?
But RVs are built like S, and they're just all particle board.
Oh, yeah.
Like
and
so.
asbestos.
Yeah.
So they disintegrate, but boat holes.
Boats are tough.
Like people have sailboat holes like from the 70s, 60s, like bigger fishing boats.
That's funny that you said that. Two things. One is I'm working on a boat right now that was built in '88, and I'm remodeling. He's got a lot of glasswork on the bottom. He wants to retexture the top and fix all the cracks on it. He's completely rebuilding it. I'm at a sailboat yard in Titusville right now. That's funny you said sailboat.
Well, this is funny. I was hoping that you were going to get into some guys that this was my dream for this interview, is that you were going to talk about the guys. Are there guys that will take that 88 boat you're working on and he'll go, I want this the way it was in 88?
There's a handful of people that are really particular about it. The guy that I'm working on right now, his business is he fixes up European cars, and he's really meticulous, and he definitely wants everything kind of brand new. So
Gotcha.
Maybe not as exact, but pretty damn close.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want is it because they like the style? Like, why would one, is it just because the hull has integrity and there's no reason to get another one? Or is it the design, or is it the reliability? Why would you use an older hull and throw money at it?
Well, sometimes it's a rare boat. Like this particular boat, it's called a Ka-Shing. It was made in Thailand. And then they sent the hull over to America to have the inside built. So it's kind of something you don't see a lot.
Gotcha.
And like I said, he fixes rare old European cars, so that's kind of his style, you know?
Weird. He likes the weird stuff. That's cool. You definitely have a weird job, dude.
Yeah, but also it's the expense. Seth's boat's $120,000 brand new.
He just got it back today.
Oh, yeah.
And so
this is a 60-footer, so it's probably pretty penny. I don't even want to ask the owner.
Yeah,
60-footer.
But
Jesus.
you can get a lot of boats aftermarket, the used for a lot cheaper, and then just repair them because people either don't want to put the money into it or they sell them cheap.
I think it's kind of cool. I always admire it when I see a boat that's older but it looks real cherry. I'm like, that's amazing.
It's so funny because I get two different kinds of customers, and I get a lot of crazy guys I meet because I'm mobile. I will just drive to their house and do it sometimes in their warehouse. I go to boat yards, some dealerships, But you get the one guy who you walk in and his shop's completely clean. There's not a speck of dirt on his boat. Then you get another guy who's just a hardcore fisher. He's got holes filled with caulking and scratches, and he just wants to get some fiberglass work done. He doesn't care how ugly it is. He just wants it fixed.
Yeah, I just want the integrity of the boat good.
So, Michael, I have some loose fiberglass work experience, and by loose, I mean I went to Amazon and I got fiberglass repair kit on Amazon because I constantly gouge the bottom of my boat because the bumpers will get sideways and I'll just ram it crazy on my trailer. And then
put a little JB weld on it.
And then I'm partying at Disappearing Island, and I run that thing up on some rocks. I'll scratch it crazy.
Yeah.
So
and then last week, I believe we had, was it a Grady White that ran into us? A big old, or was it a Boston whaler? It might have been a whaler that smashed into us.
It was basically just a center console dual motor.
And he's cracking it good.
Fishing boat, but the plastic is really, you could do nothing. I just put some clear caulk on that. I'm not. Crystal wants me to get a new cowling. I'm like, no, we don't need it. But anyway, so I got the fiberglass repair kit. I get the putty knife. I mix it on my paper plate.
Yeah. How long do you have? How long do you have? You got to go. You
got
to work fast.
It's all over my fingers. It's dripping. Then I don't even sand it after. I'm like, the
Nature will
bumpiness.
Sand it. The water will sand it.
And so how long can I get away with doing just that before I actually have to call in a professional like yourself?
Well, I mean, if you prep the area right with the heavy grit and you filled it in, it can be ugly and still be completely fine. But if it wasn't prepped right, and it might end up cracking again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it'll crack it.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you understood the question. He said, "How many times can I do this?" Sorry, I'm not taking any shots at your retention.
Prep.
He said, "How many times can I do this?" And it's still like.
I'll fix that as soon as possible.
Yeah, the answer is.
I blew on it.
I don't know how big it is.
I blew the dirt off of it with my breath. I wiped it off with my hand.
Michael, what is your take? Is your take as a pro? Is your take somewhere in the middle? Like, hey, I'm obviously going to do a good job, but I don't. It doesn't need to be pristine. Like, it's obviously like you stand behind all of your work, I'm sure. But there's a happy medium, right?
With me, I mean, I knew I could go out on my own because I was always kind of like one of the better guys. Like, I always kind of went to the top. Like, I ran my own line at Boston Whaler for about 3 years in finishing.
Wow.
Finishing department, and I got bored. I couldn't move any further. I mean, I could. They wanted me to be a supervisor, and I like working with my hands. So I decided to go to R&D instead and learn how to do mold changes. And I'm constantly learning new stuff. But I still treat these boats like I'm at the factory, like I have a QC coming behind me. And they call it gigging it when they check your work to make sure you do it right. So I still try to make it look like it comes from the factory, but tinting gel coat's a little tricky, so some guys don't care. They're just like, make it fixed. It doesn't have to be pretty. And other guys, like, they want it to look like it was never there, which is fine with me.
So, and we'll get to the gel coat, but, like, the last fiberglass question I have is how big of a repair can you do and it still maintain the integrity of the hull? Like, what if there's, like, a bowling ball size hole in the hull of the boat? Can you patch that?
Let's go pickleball.
Or is there...
You could cut the boat in half, and I could glass it back together.
No, really?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how big it is, obviously. Not a big yacht or something, but like, yeah, it's all repairable, and that's one of the reasons why you see boats on the water, and that's one of the reasons why I keep getting calls. People keep them forever.
See, I like that.
Especially if they find one that rides right, because all the boats are shaped differently. You know, cars are kind of similar, but boats, there's a million kinds of shapes out there, and the way they're built, the weight, the lift is like how it leans to left and, port and starboard. So one guy gets a boat that he likes, and he just sticks with it.
I think you're good with this boat. Like the boat that you have now.
Yeah, me and Chris were talking, we love it.
The way you guys wing it around, like you guys, honestly, I'm very impressed. Not that you were ever bad, but I know you don't like compliments. I'm trying to make you uncomfortable. But he'll wing his boat around, and he's very capable with it. Yeah. There's no problem whatsoever. It's the right size.
I got a Hurricane Sundeck 2200, Michael. I don't know if you're familiar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it a 22-footer?
Yep, 22-foot.
Yeah, I've worked on a couple of those.
I got a 250 on the back. Hauls ass.
It does haul ass. Yeah, let's go fast.
Little fishing boats, and you can go out and kind of like have a party day on them too. They can do everything.
100%. Your wife can hang her boobies out on that thing. I'll tell you.
I go I go so fast on the St. Johns River. I'm like, if we get into a turn down for what situations, I will kill my whole family.
Yeah. Like, but that's what makes it exciting.
We will all be ejected out of this boat and be flung into the St. Johns River.
One will live for tales. One will tell the tale.
Yeah. Then they'll be breathalyzing me.
No, you don't breathalyze a corpse.
No, I live because the drunk.
Oh, you're the one that lives.
The drunk guy always lives because your body's loose when you're cartwheeling across the water.
You're relaxed.
Yeah. Michael knows.
Everybody's always said that, and I'm like, how do you know that?
So, Michael, let's talk about gel coat because I ran into a problem where I used to pressure wash
Tom's gel don't coat.
I used to pressure wash my boat when I took it back from Disappearing Island.
And he puts the nozzle about 2 centimeters away and he rockets he writes his name in it.
And I'd use a big-ass, like a 3500 Briggs & Stratton pressure washer, and I just blasted the bottom gel coat, like, off. I was like, oh, God!
Yeah. Like something that Hourglass Brewery would use to clean their sidewalks.
Just strip the gel coat to the barrier. Basically, the way the boat is built is the layer on the top is your gel coat. Then they have what they call a barrier coat, and it's usually black or gray. Then the fiberglass is underneath. Did you change the color of it?
Oh, we're down to the black, right?
We're down to the threads.
Yeah, I even said this to Tom the other day. I was like, I didn't know your boat was black. We're down to the black.
No, well.
Oh yeah, that's what they call a barrier coat.
So
it's a coat.
My wife was bitching because she's like, it looks bad. We have like all these nice boats out here at Disappearing Island. Like the gel coat is all jiggy jaggy on the bottom. And then I explained to her, I'm like, there's no way to ever fix this. This is impossible.
Nothing can be done.
Yeah. Like if I ordered some gel coat paint and tried to with a paintbrush.
With a paintbrush. Like Goofy from Mickey Mouse. Like why wouldn't you get a hold of Michael?
Don't do that. It'll be even more ugly and it'll be a mess.
Yeah. Okay. So
Get a hold of Mike. I bet Michael could do it.
Well, whatever Michael's doing, I could do with some YouTube.
That's so insulting, Michael. I'm sorry.
You can. It's just it'll take you way longer to do it, but it's something people can do. But it's not. It's definitely not easy.
You hear that? He goes, it's something.
So you can actually repaint some. Like if you had a huge gel coat problem.
Why don't you? I thought you were going to say if you had a huge gel coat paintbrush. I was like, why don't you ask him what he uses to?
How do you do it?
Well, for prep something, it's like gel coat is gel coat and paint is paint. It's weird. Gel coat is real thick. It's not like paint. So with paint, you prep it and then you paint it and you put a nice coat on it and then you let that cure a little bit and then you clear coat it. With gel coat, you prep it with like a 220 grit. You spray it and it's going to come out thick and ugly as hell. I'm telling you. You have to let that cure and then you have to sand that all the way down until it's flat, down to like an 800 grit, and you buff it out.
How long?
I just simplified the whole process, but a lot harder, easier said than done.
Yeah, sure. But how long does that sanding, because it sounded like when you were saying that, is the sanding and getting all that junk down to where it's a smooth surface, is that the man hours and the hard part?
Yeah, unless it's a structural repair where someone has like a huge fix, then you have to fiberglass it first, then prep that out, use a little fairing. We call it Bondo, but it's not. Bondo's just the name.
Gotcha.
You Aztec, Stickleflex, there's all kinds of body fillers you can use. But you fiberglass your body filler, and then you spray it with gel coat, let that cure, and then you sand it.
So what would it cost?
How ugly a spray looks with gel coat.
Gotcha. Like, so if Tom did that for his boat, his Hurricane, and he got the whole thing redone, what are we looking at?
Well, it's a 20-foot boat. I have to look at it. I never make it.
I like that.
Nah.
I like that. That's when you know
that.
you got a good guy on it, because he's like, no, I got to see it. I don't do this over the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not some joker.
Yeah.
I do. If I got some pictures sent to me, that's usually what I do. That's kind of funny. I had it the first time ever. It's a 65-year-old guy from New Smyrna. I went to do a job yesterday. And, I was like, can you do me a favor? Can you send me a picture of him? He's like, he's country as hell. He goes, he's like, yeah, to be honest, man, I'm 65. I have a flip phone, so you're just going to have to come out here. It's 3 inches. And I just started laughing. Like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Now, also, Michael's a good businessman because there's this thing in the service industry. You got to go and see what your customer's living in, what kind of watch he has, what kind of shoes he's wearing. Because that helps you.
I see all kinds of people.
I got to do a little market research.
Yeah. A BDM told me that.
If you have a boat, you have a little extra money, so they're usually kind of like they have like their own businesses, or they just some guys are like businessmen, and other guys are just like country dudes that like to fish, and some people like you guys, you have families who want to go out in the water, and you have they're all different. It's kind of cool. That's the one thing I do like about my job. It's not the same thing every day like the factory.
There's weird things about boat owners. They're either extremely rich or extremely poor.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Yeah, nobody in the middle.
It's like, what? You have a boat? You don't even have a house.
I'm at a sailboat yard right now where there's people that live in their sailboats here, and it's wild.
Yeah. I mean,
they're on blocks. They're not even like in the water. They're just living in the sailboat.
Oh, I like that.
It's wild.
Have you had any close calls? I mean, like, you're doing a job where you come in contact with the public. I mean, a lot of these boat guys might be armed. They might like not want you rolling up on their sailboat. Like, have you had any like close calls at all, or met any people?
No, but I never. I was going to say, I've had a shotgun for a long time. It's a home invasion, but I've never had a handgun until last year, and because now it's like the weirdest thing. I'm driving, and sometimes it's in the middle of the country. I don't know where I'm going, so just in case.
I don't blame you.
I never had any close calls. Everyone's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't blame you, and I think for the most part, everybody out there is pretty damn good. But I can't imagine it would be like
Michael. Last question about gel coat. My gel coat is it's a little old.
His gel coat smell coat.
Yeah, it's gotten milky white like a witch's eyes.
Yeah, it does.
And so it used to be dark blue. And now it's all milky white, and it's got what looks
It's
to be
oxidation.
an insane amount of tiny micro scratches swirled everywhere because I tried to buff it out myself and I used the wrong equipment. Anyway, so then I saw all these products online. You spray and then you wipe it and it brings your gel coat back to the original. And I've tried
Dr. Goulds, it brings your cabinetry back to life.
And I've tried them all and none of them work.
It's kind of like snake oil or like a Band-Aid on a surgical wound. You can do that, but what you really need to do is some guys will hard buff it with a heavy compound. I like to just give it a quick sand. You got to get the oxidation off the top coat. And then when you're done buffing it and you get it shiny, then you have to wax it. If you wax it once a year, it won't turn milky white like that.
Yeah, he'll never wax it once a year. Right? I mean, be honest with yourself.
Once a year?
Yeah, but be honest with yourself.
I mean, how about...
Be honest with yourself, Tom Van. It's only once a year. You
Some guys say every 6 months, but I say once a year. I say it's probably fine.
My dad waxed his boat every 6 months.
What are you, David Goggins, the hardest working man? Once a year is insane. I got once every 5 years, maybe.
Well, I could buff it out. I could buff it out every 6 months for $500. It's up to you if you want to wax it.
It might be worth $500. Or is that high for you?
Well, I mean,
you
the problem
said it
is,
yourself. You're either extremely poor or extremely rich.
the problem
Which
is,
are you?
I'll look out the window and I'll say to myself, I can do that. I'm like, look, I can hold the pumping machine.
Do you really do that?
Oh,
if you have somebody working at your house, you're creeping in the shadows, or you're peeking through the windows.
Every single
I'm
person.
the same way. If I can do it myself, I do. I get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Now, so Michael, where again, plug your business and your website.
So I don't have a website. Everything at this moment, because I'm a year in, is word of mouth, and I've just gotten enough work with this business I'm in. I eventually want to do like an Instagram because I have friends who have websites that don't get a lot of business through it. But my business is Shay's Boat Repair. That's my business, and it's gel coat, fiberglass, and custom parts.
How do you spell Shay?
S-H-E-A.
S-H-E-A.
Michael, because me and Daniel wanted to start a new business where we help startups with their first logo, a theme song, all their social media.
I can get on this.
Would you be interested in, doing business with us? If we could offer you,
it only costs Tom's gel coat.
we could.
How am I doing?
We can work something out.
We can get you a Facebook page, a logo
We'll get you
for
an
your
Instagram.
business.
We'll get you.
We'll
give
get you
you
10
1
theme
month,
songs.
1 month of monitoring.
Yeah.
That's how they get you with the
Hey,
monitor.
we can work out a deal with that.
We can do 1 month.
That's something I was thinking about. My wife was telling me about that, and I was like,
Don't listen to her.
She doesn't know business.
She doesn't know business. That's a woman.
Women don't know boat business.
We know boat business.
Why did you haven't done it yet?
Yeah, so we get you, all the theme songs you want,
We'll get you
all the
Instagram
logos.
1 month monitoring by Melissa.
Yeah. We'll get you one custom video. If you write down your story,
your likes,
then
your dislikes.
We'll put it into bullet points or any sort of fantasy that ChatGPT can come up
and
with.
then I can make a picture of you doing anything you want. So if you want like holding 2 boats as a muscle man, I'll put your face on that. I can do whatever you want.
What's that worth to you? Is that like $500? Like
no, I'm trying to get free gel coat.
Yeah, that would work out.
All right.
I hope you know that's a legal binding contract, sir, because you're on our airwaves. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Michael. Well, thanks so much for taking the time and to tell us about your weird job.
Yeah,
and,
you got a weird one, man, and it's a good one. So keep it up. And if you do ever need any help with anything else, man, hit us up.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, buddy.
Dude.
Be good.
Yeah.
Thanks for the time.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too, man. You're a nice man.
Yeah, people will pay. Like if you're like, hey, theme song, social media.
So are we putting together packages? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do this?
Wait.
What do we charge for that?
I think like $500 flat rate. I mean, what is that? How much time will that take you? 2 minutes?
Not even. Are you crazy?
2 to 5 minutes.
I can do logo. Okay, it has to be within reason. I can do logo.
Yeah, just logo.
I'll do logo, custom song where I'll write the song because rhyming words is like it's all I do all day because my mind is. My mind is.
You can puke them thousand
but
out.
what is that called? It's like my disability is. I just sit and Andrew's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just making songs." Like I just sit.
Extreme creativity.
Yeah, what's that? I don't think it's anything. I just sit there. If some old lady walks in the doctor's office and I'm there for my hemorrhoids, I'm like, "Old lady walking into the office." hemorrhoids. Here she comes.
You're
Here
crazy.
she comes.
Use
all
your
the girls and
craziness.
boys. I'm singing songs. I'm rhyming them.
Yeah. We'll get that. And then Facebook page, that's easy to make.
Oh, Ryan's in the chat room. You got it, man. Thanks for being on the show. You were great. See, when I hear that guy, I envision a mirror in front of me, and I'm looking in it, and I'm like, you got to be more manly, Dan. You're so weak and old.
Yeah.
This guy's a real man with he's
Yeah.
out there sanding and doing it. And
Yeah,
what do?
well-
You walk in and you put your bag down and you put your 2 Diet Mountain Dews
Well,
in the
that's your
fridge.
path.
And
You
then you
can't-
go and you
and
sit
this
there
guy's
and you're
been
like, then you sit there and rhyme. You sit there and you're
Well, you can't be, you're trying to be something you're not. Like, this guy does manual labor all the time.
I
You're
want to
like,
do that.
No, you don't.
That's-
You're
it's
not
the
cut out
dream.
for it. No, you're cut out for the rhyming songs. You need to sit on your pillow
So
and
let's
do
go
a
back.
rhyming song.
Let's go back to it. Let's go back. So it's a logo.
Yeah.
It's 2 songs.
Yeah.
Because you can't go crazy.
Yeah.
It's a logo and 2 songs with unlimited changes on the logo. Because these fools, they love unlimited
no,
changes.
say 3 changes.
3 changes?
Yeah. You say unlimited, they'll keep bothering
What if
you.
you go $99 unlimited changes? You see,
Okay, the
everything
upcharge,
everything
yeah.
is a like, do you want to do this? $9.
Yeah.
You want to do this? $3. You want to do this? $2.
We'll get you some T-shirts. So we know a T-shirt guy.
Oh, great. Okay, so Ghost of Manu Bull in our Twitch chat room.
Some
He
Chinese
says
garbage.
T&D Media will puke them out for you.
Oh, yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. All right.
So who's going to be our first client?
I read this boat guy. I think he likes it.
So Ryan.
No, but then all
Or
the-
Michael. That was Ryan. That's his brother.
Yeah. No, because then his brother's gonna be like, these guys just use the AI and do it
Yeah, it's
easily.
not real.
You could do that too, but they can do it. They're like, what? I don't
I
know.
don't know AI. I know fish.
It's just I'm like these guys. I don't know how to do it either.
I can't even type. Oh, my fingers.
I need a creative computer, man. They don't have that.
Okay.
A tiny creative computer.
So
man.
this guy will be like, he'll be like, I can do. Well, what if he's like you though? What if he's looking through the window
No,
and
he
sees me
can't.
at the computer and he's like, I can do that?
No, he could do anything manual labor, but his computers
Can he do
are
digital
his
gel coat?
kryptonite.
I do digital gel. I'm
Yeah.
digital. I'm little Danny digital gel coat.
Uh-oh, we gotta go. Bye-bye.
Good thing you looked at that. All right. That was a fever dream. He was great. Michael was awesome. He's a good talker. Where does that go?
That's Wednesday 2, unless we went way too long.
I don't think we did. I'll check it right here.
Because I think we did like 23 with Carrie.
25 with Carrie.
Yeah. So we went way too long.
I can fix it. I can go in and
Okay.
click out a little bit of it, and we'll be okay. All right. Is there anything else we're doing?
We can do a quick 10-minute to tack on to the end of the
Yeah, I have some.
Science Center.
I got some
Okay.
emails to go to here. Buga de Bebo closed.
Oh, really?
The old Buga de Bebo.
That's the family style restaurant. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of family style. I like completely isolated style.
I wonder if that like style of dining is antiquated or people aren't as interested. It's a lot of food. You get like a whole tray of lasagna.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then you take a scoop.
10,000
A
calories.
lot of people don't like a scoop though.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I don't care. I'm not germy like that. Like, I don't care. Somebody could grab the ziti with their hands, and I'd do it too. I don't care.
And let's talk about
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
I have
let's talk
one
about
thing I have to say before we
'Cause
get into we dig in.
it. Yeah.
too. All right, let me keep that guy. Okay. And this is a coming back, right?
Yeah.
I'll bring us back. Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So you just told me that Buca de Beppo is closing down.
I'm glad you say it right, because I think most people that I know call it Buga de Peppo. And I think most people I know have called it Buga de Peppo until it's now closed.
So
And the phrase Buga de Bebo, it's Beppo, right? Like Beppo, Beppo.
Buca de Peppo?
Buga de Beppo. You just did it. You just peppoed me. Don't you ever peppo me. It's Beppo. It's Buca de Beppo.
Buca de Beppo?
You got it.
Okay.
You nailed it. Buca de Beppo.
So it's a family dining style Italian restaurant.
It's the big, hey, your portions are huge, and you sit with everybody. And when you hear your family, hey, the Pope's in the center of the table. Buca de Beppo.
So now I'm not sure if that style dining is antiquated and that's why they're going out of business, or if it's for another reason. But it makes sense because follow me with this logic, and you don't deal with this because Maisie eats everything. And Maisie will eat,
I'm so lucky, dude.
Seafood.
If I go anywhere, I can go to a Vietnamese restaurant, and it's easy. I can just go, plate of rice, chicken, some steak. We're good.
Yeah.
Vegetables, whatever.
You got to give it to you and Andrea because that seems more like parenting. You forced her to eat everything or whatever.
You know what? When you say those, I will agree with you if you are honestly correct. Not on this one. I believe
willing
this
to try
is for
everything.
me, probably.
Okay.
Because I like all weird, and so does Andrea. Andrea eats like squid pie, and I'll eat sushi and all kinds of weird fish and stuff like that. I love seafood. I love seafood, dude. Grew up on seafood. So,
but she was exposed to that.
She was exposed to it. We just put it in front of her, and we just wouldn't make any faces. The key is just ignore.
You know, Crystal feels guilty because we did a lot of things wrong, and she thinks she did this wrong. Where when the boys were born, she was like, "Well,
she kept those cardboard boxes on their heads for the first 3 months."
She said her rationale was like, "I'll let them make the decision if they want to eat meat, right?" Now, here's the problem with that. It's kind of interesting because she did it both boys are the same.
Yeah.
Max is the emotional one. He's still a vegetarian. Tommy eats meat like me, burgers, steak, eat any meat. But Max is still a vegetarian, refuses to eat meat.
I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
But they weren't exposed to a lot of that on their plates, and they tell you, I guess, a parenting specialist or whatever.
What is that? A parenting specialist?
Someone who that probably is right when it comes to them saying.
So like a doctor, is that?
You should put the food. And Crystal actually does this. She'll put the food, even veggies and artichoke stuff that they're like, ew, but she'll put it on their plate so they're exposed to it, even though if they don't eat it. But anyway, it has not helped. They are picky as hell.
And then you sit there, and then we all do the thing where it's like, hey, give me 2 more, no, give me 4 more chickens.
Yeah.
And I want to you can you do 4 more chickens, you can leave. And then I don't hold her to the 4 more chickens. If she does 4, that's great. If she doesn't, I'm like, did you eat the 4? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, get out of here.
And we'll force them to eat the vegetables and whatnot. But it's a fight every time.
But vegetables are terrible.
And they won't really try anything new, especially seafood and stuff. They're grossed out by it.
But it's gross, dude.
Actually, Tommy ate some fried shrimp this past weekend.
That's the gateway drug.
Yeah, so Tommy's will.
Yeah,
I think it's all personality based. Max he won't even eat any other mac and cheese besides the Blue Box Craft.
And I'm saying this with love.
So
does that sound as particular as a certain woman maybe that you love?
Yeah. It's,
right?
It's an emotional thing.
But it does sound as particular. I remember when your wife has gone on one of her end-all, be-all rants about Chicken Kitchen and how good it is. There's certain foods, maybe he's just more of I only want it this way.
And I see from my friends, they all bitch about their kids not, some of them are adventurous and eat whatever, but for the most part, it's the standard chicken nugget. They only want the same things.
None of Maisie's friends like the food she likes, so don't feel bad about that.
So I wonder if that's why Buca de Beppo is closing, because it's all based on you get one tray of lasagna and the whole family shares it, and now we live in a day and age where the whole family likes different things. And so that business model, it
used to be we ordered this and this is what you're getting, and we are less like that now.
Yeah.
You are right on that.
We couldn't go there and get a tray of meat lasagna and the whole family Crystal doesn't eat it, Max won't eat meat.
Split it down the middle. Yeah.
Tommy's not. He doesn't even he's eating.
He doesn't care.
Some lasagna before, but so maybe so it's not just
if it's
one size fits all.
Alfredo-based vegetable lasagna, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, or it could just be random. But I don't see those family style restaurants maybe being as popular as they once were.
Is P.F. Chang's one of those too? Isn't that a family style?
I think you order big portions, you all share.
Where it's here's a big thing of rice.
Yeah.
And you go and you do the rice. I've never been a big fan of these type of restaurants. Oh, I don't know why. I think the theory behind them or why they do it is because traditionally Italian dishes are cooked, they're huge, for big families.
Yeah.
And the idea of eating and fellowship is a very, that's age old. Everybody, like your house is designed to cook and eat in the kitchen and just enjoy it. I love the design of your house for that. It's like made to like entertain in the kitchen. I love that.
So anyway,
that's where all those chefs are always like, food is love, and the food brings the family in. I think that's what Buca de Beppo was going for.
Yeah, and not anymore.
No.
But
a lot of these places are starting to close down, But we just got a new Italian place right up the street.
The restaurant business seems insanely difficult, especially with just getting the right employees.
This was a lease problem. This was not a...
Oh, it wasn't actually...
Yeah, apparently this was a... They released a statement. They've been there over 25 years. Can you believe that? I remember when
the one right across from the Enzion. Maybe it's... Well, they say a lease problem. Maybe the property... Oh, it probably got so high that because Winter Park is creeping up the road.
Why would you pay that?
Yeah. And then they're like, we'll just move down the street to a cheaper...
Or maybe it's like, sorry, you've priced us out. We have other ones. Okay, well, the cards fell. Yeah. That's what happened. But yeah, I've only been there a handful of times.
Yeah.
And then they have that special Pope table where you go and then like, hey, and then everybody, I remember when it was big for a minute where people would be like, oh, I got us the Pope table. And I'd be like, oh, what is that? And you go in.
Yeah, I remember when they used to advertise at the radio station.
Yeah, and there's a table, and then they have a model of the Pope at the time. It's like Pope John Paul. They have his head in the middle of the table. I think that's weird. And I don't think it adds to my dinner. Now I can say it because they're closed. Is that okay? Can I say it now? And this is going to hurt some feelings. If you ever invited me to your birthday party, and there are a few people, and you requested the Pope table, just so you know, I turned to my wife and looked at her and was like, that was a stupid Pope table. It's stupid.
Yeah. Well, this guy said the F word for gays.
But that's the new Pope. The new Pope.
Okay,
and he's fine.
I don't know anything about the Pope.
Did you see what he did? Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. The Pope just yesterday. The current Pope that said the F word for gays.
Yeah.
But
in a kind of a comical Italian way.
Yeah, I can't even say it.
Not with a hard T.
Yeah, I think he did whatever it was. It had a rally on the end of it, and he was making jokes. And then he invited. And this is so funny. Yesterday he invited 100 comedians to the Vatican. And like Whoopi Goldberg was there, Conan O'Brien was there, and he was like,
really?
And he was like, you all are helping the world with your humor. And then I think he said the F word for gay, and everybody laughed, and they laughed and laughed. And you would imagine that not one of those comedians like pulled the Pope aside and was like, hey, where are we with this guy saying the F word for gay? It's like, he said it behind closed doors. We're all good now, right?
Yeah. Well, I think everybody.
He didn't invite one gay comedian.
Hey, is that no gay comedians?
He must have, right? Out of 100 comedians, there had to have been a gay comedian there. I just think the whole thing's hilarious.
And which 100 comedians, I guess
you want me to pull up the story?
If you get invited to see the Pope, I guess you go, right? It's kind of a big deal. Although,
well, like people were saying, like Stephen Colbert has a quote when I was listening on NPR. Stephen Colbert was saying something like, he's like, I met the Pope and I didn't know what he was saying to me, but it sounded like he was yelling at me. And he goes, it was glorious. It was wonderful. And I'm like, why are you acting like this guy even matters?
Well, it's such a huge figure that it would be impressive just to meet that person.
I guess.
Like historically, obviously,
there are a lot of those
bigger,
people. Like I kind of think of him like I think about any politician. I'm like, I don't really care about you.
Who's that one monk that's famous or whatever? It's like a Buddhist.
You mean the Dalai Lama?
Dalai Lama, yeah.
Like that. He's the one that sucked that little kid's tongue.
yeah. The Pope. They all do that.
They're all maniacs. They're animals.
But like the Dalai Lama, even though I don't know anything about that religion or whatever, it's still you want a picture made with the Dalai Lama, right? You want to get a picture made
and then
with
I stick
the
my
Pope?
tongue out.
Suck my tongue.
Yeah, now that's the only way.
Would you let the llama suck your tongue?
For a photo? For a photo op? Are you crazy? If you said, dude, if I called you, I'm like, hey, the Dalai Lama's here. You're like, hey, get the llama to suck your tongue. I'm like, hey, llama. That's what Bill Murray said in Caddyshack. So he says to him, he says, hey, llama. So I said, so I'm sitting there. I wish, you imagine this, Sean. I'm at the palace. We're all standing around, and the llama's there. And the llama just got done having the little boy. They asked the little boys to leave. And I says, hey, llama, why don't you suck my tongue? And he says to me, gunga la gunga, which means suck my tongue. And I got that going for me. There you go, Caddyshack. Comedians at. Oh wait, hold on. Comedians with Pope. How many were there? I'm trying to find out. Yeah, Stephen Colbert, Whoopi Goldberg, Conan O'Brien. He said his quote was, "You unite people because laughter is contagious." He continued, "Please play for me, not against me." He also said that it is okay to make jokes about God and with God like you would your good buddies and chums.
Oh, God, all right. You gave him the blessing to make fun of the religion?
He says, when you manage to bring intelligent smiles to the lips of even a single spectator, you make God smile.
All the pedophile jokes? Because that's what they like to do, Pope. You know, the jokes they're making about the Catholic Church is all pedophile related. I mean, is that lighthearted? It's really dark.
The quote, I got the quote wrong. This is from AP. I got the quote wrong. Conan O'Brien said, he spoke in Italian, so I'm not quite sure what he said. To be in that room and to be with my fellow comedians, some of whom I've been good friends with for many years in that environment was quite strange, the TV host added. All of us were thinking, how did this happen? Why are we here? And when are they going to throw us out? It's weird, right? It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's weird that they even went. I guess, again, you get invited to meet the Pope. You just go just for the experience alone. But yeah, the whole thing is like the Vatican.
It's weird. It is weird.
It's old.
The whole thing. It's old and weird.
We're 2024, and these people
the guy's got a crystal vase of smoke coming out of it. I'm supposed to go meet him.
Yeah. The white smoke puffing out the top, and
that means they chose a new one.
Yeah, or whatever, and then like. What they claim this person
That's
actually is.
That's also how we do producers here at TNT Media, though. Like, we just haven't poofed any smoke yet.
It's so odd that all these old traditions are still going on, and they all have smartphones in their pocket, I guess. It's bizarre. You know what I'm saying? You're doing this 200-year-old tradition with smartphones.
I never grew up Catholic. I grew up Methodist.
Yeah.
Even though my mom was a Methodist. Let me put the T on that so people know I'm not completely Southern. But I grew up in a very religious household, but I don't get the Vatican Catholicism. I think it's just different for Catholics. It has to be, right?
But it's all the same technically.
It seems like a lot of them hate it. They're like, oh, they're all pedophiles. Oh, the Pope, I'll still meet him. You're like, that's weird to me, right? The whole thing is weird.
But it's all Jesus. But then like all the sects of religion, people. I feel like don't even really realize what the history of it is anymore. It's just they call themselves something because they want to be in that tribe.
But where are we with the Pope, too, right? I mean, he said he's the Pope for everybody. He loves everybody. But just the week before he invited the comedians, he was saying some pretty funny jokes behind closed doors that got leaked out. But everybody's like, no, that is okay. That's fine. He's fine. He's an old man. He just sometimes it slips like a toot, just like a poot. He just let a little poot out.
It is bizarre. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow.
I won't.
Just being stupid. All right, where's that go?
That is for the second part of Thursday.
Yep. Gotcha.
Thursday, too.
Well, technically on Thursday, that is. So we've got the 20, that'd be 32, then plus that. Yeah, that's perfect.
Is that too long?
Well, we usually do. No. No. It'll work. I just
because we did do 30, right? 40.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have to relabel these and combine 1 and 2.
Okay, I see. Yeah, you put the second set. Yeah.
I just put the other one in there as that. So if I just combine them, then this becomes what we need it to be. And then we're good. Is that it?
Yep, that's it. All the recording today.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, y'all.
Yep, we'll be back on Twitch tomorrow around 11.
It was weird that after we made that sticker, like the Slambone Fagarelli sticker, and it was like literally like a month later, and they said something like that. It's some word like that. I don't know. No one will print it. They won't print it because it is a bad word. He's an old man bad word.